If I could only have one shortcut, it would be the shortcut that I'm gonna show you how to create today. Let's talk tech. How's it going? Will here from Will Talk Tech. Now, if you build a second brain, if you take notes, if you're creating anything or you have any type of resource area that you like to create, then I'm telling you, this web clipper, you're going to love it. The best part of all is I want you to break out your phone, your iPad, your MacBook Pro, whatever it is you have, and follow along with me and do this shortcut with me because I'm telling you, it is really easy, super powerful. Took me a week to figure it out. That's the reason why this video didn't come out on Wednesday. It's coming out today, which is Sunday, because while it was a simple fix, it was not easy. I went through a ton of different apps of web clippers and things like that, trying to get around the limitation of only being able to copy one thing to the clipboard. And then once you copy that one thing to the clipboard, you copy something else, that one thing get erased. So today I'm going to show you how to get around all of that and be able to copy as much as you want to your clipboard. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how to get it into shortcuts the easiest way I could find. All right, so let's dig in. All right, the first thing we're going to go is we're going to come over here to the App Store. I'm gonna actually turn off my in-house Wi-Fi and just use my 5G. Hopefully it moves a little bit faster. So we need a few apps. The first app that we need is going to be Paste. So we can come over here. I already have it on my system, but we can type it in and hit enter. And this is the app right here that we need. This will allow us to do what we need to do. So this is what we need to do. You can see it was updated a week ago. It's a really solid app. I am on a subscription plan, but for what we're using this for, I think they have a free plan available. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me. It might give you only so many copies per week or whatever, but for this, you'll be able to use it. All right, next thing after you've done that is we want to head over to shortcuts. Now, if you don't have shortcuts on your device, you'll just type in shortcuts. And this is the app you're looking for. It's 100% free. It allows us to do some really cool stuff that we're going to be doing today. All right, so I'm going to just close that out because we're done with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up shortcuts. Now, I'm gonna actually create this shortcut up under, let's see here, my playground. So I'm gonna put it in my playground. And I'm going to hit the plus button right here. And we can name this shortcut. I already have the ultimate web clipper, so we just gonna call it web clip. Yeah, that's cool. All right. After that, if we wanted to change up the icon, we can do it right here. And maybe I can get how about, what is it, safety pin? Oh no, it's called a paper clip. All right, so I can get that, maybe change it to green, and there we have it. Now, right now we have the beginning stages of our shortcut. Now, normally what I would do is I would have another window open, which is a text, so I can write out what I want to do, how I want to do it. But today I'm cheating because I want to look like a rock star on camera, and I'm actually using a secondary device over here, so I'll know exactly what I'm doing and things like that. Since I've already built this out, I already know what's going on. So don't think for a millisecond that, I'm just doing all this off the top of my head, because I'm not, and I don't want to give you that impression that I am. I've already figured out how to build it. Now that I figured out how to build it, I'm looking at another iPad to make sure that everything get done correctly, okay? But honestly, it's really, really a simple app. So the first thing we're gonna do is the only action we're really gonna be using is one called Ask for Input, which is this one right here. So we can literally click on that, and then let me see if I already have it in my favorites. Yeah, I do. So we're gonna have Ask for Input, and we're gonna have it as, let's see here, first things first, I want to add in a comment. So we just type in comment, and we put this up here, and this just tells us what version it is. So version 1 is going to be web clip. Okay, so you can see I got it as version 1 web clip. The goal is to clip anything from anywhere that allows me to copy and paste. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually I'm gonna come back over here, and I'm going to click on favorites right here. And with favorites, I just want to have it set up as right here. And now what I want to do, I'm actually going to keep this pane right here open because it makes sense, because this is what I'm going to be using. So right here, I know I want this to be the file name. So I want the input to be text. I could change it if I wanted it to be something else, but I want this to be text. So I'm going to say, what do you want the file name to be? All right, and then I'm gonna change this to file name, and I'm actually gonna change this as well. You really don't have to change this one, but I just do it because I find that when I'm trying to find things, it makes it so much easier for me. So I just make sure everything match up. This one right here, I'm actually giving it a variable, setting a variable name, and you'll see why I'm doing that in a minute. This is going to be the headline. So whatever we clip, the headline of that article is what it's going to be. So I would just make this headline. I would change this, make it headline, and then after that, we will move on to the next one, which is going to be another ask for input. And we would make this one, instead of headline, we're going to make this highlight. Now I call it highlight, but it could be whatever you copy. So this is the piece of text that you copied. So I call it highlight, and as if I'm using a highlighted marker, but you can call it whatever you want. And then after that, I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna add another one in. And let's get rid of that one. I want to add in a set variable. And what this one is going to be is source. So I want to know, all right, so it's going to be what's your source? And this is going to be source. And I'm going to change this from provide input to source. Source is just the URL, all right? And then after that, I'm going to add in another one, which is going to be what's my thoughts. This just allows me to be able to, if I clip something, I want to always add my thoughts into it, because I want to make sure that I'm not just, grabbing a lot of stuff off the internet, saving it up, dropping it into my notes file, and then turning around, never doing anything else with it. So that's the reason why I want to add in my own personal notes. Plus, it shows that if you write stuff out in your own words, once you read something, you understand it better, but you also remember it. So that's the reason why I got this one. If you don't want that one, you don't have to put it. All right, so I'm gonna say my thoughts. And I'm going to put this as my thoughts as well. And the next one is going to be tags. Now, tags is something you don't have to use if you don't want to do it. I'm just going to put this as what's your tags, question mark. All right. And then up here, I can come back so I can see, all right, what did you highlight? And then right here, I could say, what's the headline? Then when I scroll down, I want to give tags a name. So I'm going to do this. Let's see here, wait for it. All right, so I'll just double click it because I'm tired of trying to get it to go where I want it to go. And now what I will do is I will say hashtag, and I will change this to hashtag as well. Now that I have my layout set up, the next thing I want to do is I want to create another action, which is right here. It's going to be text. So if you don't have, well, you might not have this stuff. So all you got to do is come over here, type in text, and it's going to pop up right here. If you want to add it to your favorites, you just click the I, and then you can, right now I just remove it. Then I click right there to add it to my favorites. So that's how it works. Really, really easy. And jump back over to the favorites. Now, this is where having it properly labeled come into play. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, hold on, I'm gonna come back over here and say, I'm gonna put nothing, just because I want to be able to see past it. All right. So that allows me to now see here. All right. So what I want to do is I want to add, this is going to be the clipper that I use. This is the foundation of the clipper. So now inside of this text note, I want to add this stuff in. So the first thing I'm going to have is, I'm going to have, what do I want it to be? I could say headline, source. It's going to be source. Then after that is going to be highlight. Then it's going to be, actually, source doesn't make sense to go right there. So we're going to move source. We're going to say headline, hashtag. We're going to make that 1. The source is going to be 2. This is Markdown, what we're using right now. You'll see why I'm doing this in a moment. The app that I'm going to be pulling this into, it recognizes Markdown, so that's why I'm using Markdown. And then this is going to be after we have our headline, we have our title. Next, I want my thoughts. Then after that, I would like it to be, let's see here, scroll down. This is actually can be like 3. I'm gonna have it for source, which is going to be the URL. And then after that, the last one all the way down here at the bottom is gonna be tags. So I could just drop tags in right there because I don't actually want it to say tags. This is just how it's going to be easier for me to find this article when it comes time for me to find it or something like that. And with my headline, I actually don't want it to say headline. What I want to do is I want to, well, first I want to put that back where it was at. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say hashtag, and I'm going to find headline and put it right there. And I'm going to actually put this right here, and I'm going to say space. So it's a hashtag with a space headline. This is my highlights. This is my thoughts. This is my source. And then when you scroll down, this is my hashtag, which is how I'm going to identify it. So now what I want to do is I want to put whatever I highlighted, I want it to go up under the highlighted area. I don't want it to sit on the same line. Give it a little bit of space. And I think 1 space is good enough. And then for this, once I'm here, I want this to be, let's see here. That's my thoughts. So I'm going to pop in my thoughts right there. I probably could bring this up 1. And if I don't like it, I can always change it back. The source, I want my source to sit on the same line as the source. Actually, I don't. I take that back. What I wanted to do is, let's see here. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to add my source right here. And then after that, I'm going to say delete, and then hashtag is going to be right there, and I'll drop that down a little bit more. And now this is my article. This allows me to clip anything from the web. Now, all this would do if we ran it right now is it would just run and show us what it pulled. We don't want it to do that. What we want it to do is we want to be able to take anything we see online and save it and store it for a later time when we can, distill it down, add it to our second brain, or, add it to our resources area, or whatever the case may be. All right. So the way we do that is now we need to turn this text file, because this is a file now, we need to save this. So in order to do that, all we have to do is come over here, click on save, and you can see where save file pops up. We double tick it, and we're going to double click, and we're going to move that up to right there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our files app really quickly. And if we turn this off, ask where to save, we can say shortcuts. And you can see I have one called Bear right now. But I actually want it to be, I don't want it to save in Bear. I actually want it to save under, on my iPad. And I want to create a new file that's on my iPad that says Bear Imports. All right. So that's where I wanted to save it. It's going to be Bear Imports. I'm going to say open. So now when I use this, that's where it's going to save to. But the last thing I want to do is I want to change the name. So in order for me to change this name to turn it into a markdown, I have to be able to use this right here. So I'm going to say set name, which is right here. All right. So I'm going to just double click on that, and I'm going to grab it, pull it right above there. And now what I want to do is I'm going to click on this little icon right here, close it up. And now what I want this to be is I want this to be file name, and then I'm going to put .md. All right. Then I can hit return on my keyboard, and now it's done. And I can leave this down here just so you can see it. But this right here is the ultimate web clipper. Now, before we do this, I'm going to show you one problem that using something like this have, and a simple, easy fix I came up with for it. But it requires us to create one more shortcut. And first, let's do this one, and then we're going to jump into that one, okay? So really quickly, this is the web clipper right here, right? So what I want to do now is I want to, actually, we could add this to the share sheet. I didn't do this on mine, but we absolutely could add this to the share sheet. So I could say show and share sheet, which is right here. And you can see right here, you can add in like what all do you want to add in. Since this is predominantly text, what I would do honestly is I would probably clear it. And then I would go through here adding certain things like, we know we can use text, we know we can use rich text, and we know we can use URLs, and that's about it. I mean, if we want to pull an article from a file, it's easier ways to do that than to use something like this to do it. So I probably wouldn't do that. Safari web pages, we could just turn all of these on just in case you want it. Let's see, contact email addresses, phone numbers. If we want to be able to clip anything, then I guess it makes sense to turn on all of this if this is the ultimate web clipper. So I'm going to actually just leave all this on. However, you might run into an issue when you're trying to clip an image or something like that. So just be mindful of that. This is based around, being able to grab text from anywhere you want, all right? And being able to grab the source so you can always go back to it. All right, so I'm gonna say done. Okay, so here we are on an article by, what is this? I think this is Apple Insider we're on. And now let's say I wanted to clip this article. Let's say it's pieces of this article. I read it, I like it, and I want to save it for later and come back to it at another time. All right, let me show you how that would look. Okay, so what I would do is I will highlight it like so, right click, and I will click share. Now, when I click share, I'm going to click on copy to clipboard, but 9 times out of 10, yours isn't there. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, click on edit action, and right here you can see yours probably got copy at the top up here. I removed copy and I put copy to clipboard, but you want to scroll down and look for copy to clipboard. As long as you install paste, you will see it up in here somewhere. All you got to do, once you find it, click the plus button, and that's going to bring it up here moving forward for you. And whatever is up here you don't want, you can just remove. It's not deleted, it just puts it back down there. These are your favorites. All right, so I'm going to say done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to say copy to clipboard history. All right. Now I'm going to look through here. Let's say I found something that I really liked. And let's say I really liked, okay, let's see, let's find something good. All right, let's say I want to clip this right here. This shows me exactly what I need to do. Let's say I want to clip all of this. What I could do is, again, click share. After I click share, I'm going to click copy to clipboard. And I can come through here. I can see if there's anything else up in here I want. And if there's nothing else I want, I have those 2 items already copied to my clipboard. And if I wanted to, I could actually grab, what I think what I want the title to be. So let's say I want the title to be, let's say, maybe I want this to be the file name. So I would right click, share. Then I would say copy to clipboard history. And the last thing I need is the URL. All right. So let's say I want the URL, and that would be right here. So I would say, all right, so the last thing I want is this URL. So I would right click. And for this, I could just copy because paste automatically pull in the last thing you copy to the clipboard. All right. So now what I want to do is I can activate it 2 ways. I can activate it from the share sheet. So if I just clicked on the share sheet, I could activate it from here. I could just scroll down until I see something that say web clip, which is right here, or I can activate it from my keyboard where I come here and say web clip, and you can see it's right here. So in this case, I'm gonna actually activate it from where I would normally activate it from. I wouldn't usually use the share sheet, but I just wanted to show you could. So I'm gonna actually activate it from my web clip. And in order to do that, let's see if it's gonna let me. Okay, I didn't think so. So I gotta unplug it from there. I'm gonna bring up my keyboard. And now what I'm gonna do is show keyboard because I had to unplug it from my Magic Mouse. It says, what is the file name? This is where it gets exciting. All I have to do is hold this icon and switch it over to paste. I'm gonna say allow. And now everything that I've copied is right here. So I remember I wanted my file name to be how to create. All right, let's come up out of there because it's still doing it from there. So let's do this. I'm gonna come back over to my keyboard really quickly. And we're going to say, let's close that out. And now we're gonna try it again. Well, since we're here and I detach my clipboard, I'll just click right here on clipboard to activate it. All right. Now I'm going to say, make sure it's working. I'm going to go back over to paste. I'm going to say how to create a Siri shortcut is what I want the title to be. It's going to be another one to pop up. And now this is asking me what's the headline. This is my headline, how to create and use a shortcut. Now it's asking me what did I want to highlight. I wanted to highlight all of this. I'm going to say done. And now it's asking me what's the source. The source is this URL right here, which is where I got it from. I want to make sure I'm giving credit. Plus, if I ever want to come back, I can. It says, what's your thoughts? Now, I will hold this, switch back to my normal keyboard. Okay, so I think this is really cool. I want to try this. So I'm going to click done. And now it's asking me, what is my tags? Because this is a shortcut, I want to make sure that I properly label things. So I'm going to call it shortcuts. And I'm going to add one more tag, which is going to be, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is shortcuts. So I'm going to call it shortcuts. And it's going to be, what is it? I think this is 16. So shortcuts, hashtag shortcut 16. So I'll be able to find all the shortcuts and I'll be able to find all the shortcut updates related to shortcut 16. So I'll say done. And now I can reattach this to my Magic Keyboard. All right, great. And now I'm back to using my mouse. All right, so now if I come over to files, I come over to on my iPad, and I come over to, let's see here, imported, Bear imports, which is right here. Okay, so now you can see that it's here, it's inside of Bear import, but I'm not gonna click on it because if I click on it, it's gonna try to open up inside of Bear. And honestly, I don't want it to do that. Now, I could see if I can, let's see here. Let's see, I don't want to share it with Bear yet. I want you to see something else before I do that. And I don't think I have pretext on here. Oh, yes, I do. It's right here. And you can see when I open it inside of pretext, it works just the way I want it to work. You can see here's my headline. Here's my highlighted area with all my notes. Here's my thoughts. And you can see here is my source. And then here are my easy searchable shortcuts. Now, this is the ultimate web clipper. You can literally do that with anything that allows you to copy and paste. So I know one of my subscribers or viewers rather wanted to know how she can do it. This is how you do it. It's super duper easy. I know it took me a little time to figure it out. I was stumped for a little while, but using paste, it allows you to do it. But I got a bonus for you because here's the deal. If you're doing something like this, for me personally, I'm using Bear. I want to take all my notes and everything that come in and dump it into Bear. That's a part of my, messiness, if you will. So for example, if you look at my Apple Notes, it was like everything was scatterbrained over there. But I want to get away from Apple Notes because honestly, I just like Bear presentation better. Plus, Bear allows me to pull in entire articles if I want to. It's just more flexibility with Bear. So I'm slowly starting to migrate everything over to Bear. So let me show you. So we can close this out. And now that we know that our shortcut work, our file name work, everything work, we can actually close this too. Well, I'll just come back over here. All right, now that we know all of this works, that's great. So we want to create one more, but before we do that, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up so I'll know you enjoy it so I can create more videos just like this. So let's dig back in. All right, so now that we've done that, we've tested this shortcut, we know that it worked. The next thing I want to do is I want to show you how I use Bear. So let's pull up Bear really quickly. And this is Bear. So you can see that down here I have my shortcuts, and Bear runs strictly off shortcuts, which is why I wanted it to be like this. Now you can see right here I have the highlights, but you can see if I pound, then that becomes first highlight, and then I will have to come over here and make that double highlight too. So these are H2 tags. This is H1 because this is the title. All right. Now I fixed this in the one I did with you. This is just running off my old one. So what I would want to do is I would want to come over here to import that note. I would say import. I would click on import, and then I would say not Bear. I would go to on my iPad and I would go to Bear imports. I would click that and I would say open. It said it imported. I would say all right, and then you can see it's right here, and you can see that I have an active link that I can click on. It'll take me to it, and I also have my shortcuts, which is right here. So I'm able to literally use this. Now within my hashtags, I have to make sure that I guess I'm not leaving a space or something like that. But as you can see, Everything looks good. It works. You can see here's my highlight. Here's my thought. And if I ever want to go back to that article and think of something else, I could do it right here. So I really, really like that. And you can see down here with Bear is really, really searchable, which is the main reason why I got it, because I like how searchable it is when it comes to finding things. So if I type in shortcuts, I can see everywhere shortcuts is, and if I wanted to go at a broader scale, I can come over here and I could say, you know, shortcuts, and it'll search it up anywhere that word is. This is why I'm using Bear. All right. Now, the last thing I want to show you is I just created a problem. Like the things that go into Bear import folder, I want to make sure that once I import them in, I don't want to have to go to that folder and delete them. So the way I have to deal with that is I create another shortcut that once everything is imported from that folder, everything in that folder gets deleted and is ready and fresh. So I know everything that's in there, I could just pull in. The way you do that is really simple. All right, so we're going to close up this, and what we're gonna do is we're in Playground. We just did the web clipper. Now I'm gonna create another one. So I'm gonna label this. So I'm gonna say delete, and this is gonna be Bear. Okay, so it's gonna be Bear imports. All right, really, really simple. And if we wanted to, we can change the icon. I don't think they got anything that would be a delete sign. Yeah, they don't have anything. I just did a quick search, couldn't find anything. So we're just going to leave it as is. Now I could make it something else, but we're gonna leave it as the shortcut symbol. Now with this one, it's gonna be really easy for us to do this. We only need a few actions, but before we can do it, we need to bring up our settings. And right here is our settings. And what we need to do is we need to scroll down to shortcuts. Let's see here. Where is shortcuts? It's at the very bottom. And what I want to do is I want to click on advanced, and you have to turn on allow deleting without confirmation. If you don't turn on allow deleting without confirmation, a shortcut will work just fine. But if you have a ton of files, you have to sit there and confirm you want to delete each file. They show you a preview of it, and then you can delete it. I don't want that preview. I just want shortcuts to, when I hit the delete button or run this shortcut, I just want it to delete everything in that file without question, without issue. And that's what the turning on this does. So if you don't want it to do that, then leave this off. I want it to do that, so I'm turning this on. All right. Now, we got that taken care of. Let's come back over here. And now we can get down to business. The very first one we need is get contents of folder, which is right here, get contents of folder. We're going to open this up. Okay, we just wanted to make sure that was off. So I'm gonna click on it and I'm just gonna navigate to the folder that I wanna get. So it's on my iPad and I'm gonna say Bear and I'm gonna say open. Now that that's there, the next thing I want to put in is a repeat. So I'm going to say repeat. All right. So it's going to be a repeat with each to be exact. All right. So it's get contents of folder, repeat with each. All right. So now what it is that I wanted to repeat? I wanted to repeat delete is down here. You can see it up under documents, delete files. But if we come and type it all the way in, it'll come to the top, which is right here. You see the trash can, and we can pull that over here. And now we can see this is all we need. So get contents of folder, Bear imports, repeat with each. So contents of folder, each one I want to delete. We can make sure this is set to delete immediately. Or if you turn this off, then it'll be moved to your trash can. But I don't want it to be moved to my trash can because I want to keep my storage open. But as a safety precaution, if you want to, you can don't delete it immediately. When you don't delete it immediately, it just throws it in the trash can. It removes it from the folder, but it puts it in your trash can for you to empty it out later. All right, so I want it deleted immediately. So now what I want to do is I want to come back over here to files, and what I want to do is I want to come over here to on my iPad. I really don't like the way this is sifting. All right, that's how I want it by date. So whatever I use will be at the top. All right, now if I want to try and do that, so now what I want to do is I just want to duplicate this just to show you that it worked. All right, I'm gonna duplicate it again, and I'm gonna duplicate it one more time. All right, so I duplicated these because I want you to see that once you run this, it works no matter how many you import. So if you're using this method as a part of building a second brand or a part of keeping your notes clear and making sure that you stand tight with your notes, then this will work great for you. So now that that's there, what I want to do is you know what? I'm going to actually, yeah, I'm gonna shift click this and bring it over. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it like this so you can see. All right, now once I push play, all of this is gonna be deleted. So I'm gonna say play and see what it's doing. Is asking me, it's showing me a preview, which is what it's supposed to do of what we clip. And it says, it's asking me allow delete bare imports to delete one file. And if you say delete, it's only gonna delete that one. But if you say delete always, which is what I'm gonna say, it's gonna delete everything from that folder, as you can see. And to me, honestly, this right here is by far the best shortcuts app. I'm telling you, for me personally, this is a game changer. Like, I'm able to copy anything from the internet. Not only copy anything from the internet, but I'm able to go back and remove those files after I've brought them into Bear. Like, that's magical for me. So if you nerd out on this stuff as a content creator and you know how important it is having your research at your fingertips and things like that, then I'm telling you, yeah, mic drop. This is it. So that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. By all means, if you have any questions, let me know below. Again, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up so I can make more awesome content like this, so I know you like it. So I'm not moving around when I don't need to be trying to figure out what the audience want to see. All right, so vote with your likes. Till next time. Later.